Join us on Now We Consume. Take in the knowledge, take in the laughs, indulge in the topics with us. The Now We Consume podcast will take you through the parts of your day you normally dread. Why suffer through the existential crisis of life alone when you can do it with us? And now we consume.
This is not meant to be a conspiracy episode or podcast, but we may cover some topics that dance that line like a toddler dances on their mother's last nerve. This podcast is rated I, for immature audiences only.
If you have also been getting recently raw dogged by life, welcome to the party. This is the Now We Consume podcast. I'm your host, Pip. Here with me, as always, is my co-host, Gibbs.
Hello.
And here to hopefully not get raw dogged by some people in the heavy, shadowy robes, we'll be talking about the not-so-secret societies tonight. Gibbs?
Hey, you never know what goes on at Bohemian Grove, just saying.
Bohemian Grove, I wanted to say something, but apparently I cannot say it, even though I would be quoting a former president.
Yeah, you can't. There will be a quote and or link to that.
President Nixon was on record, recorded record actually, speaking about his thoughts on Bohemian Grove. But we will talk about Bohemian Grove as well as several other societies tonight. But as you guys may have noticed, we had a little bit of time off. We actually had a banger of an episode lined up for y'all last week, but damn the president and his negotiating skills.
Fucking Trump getting shit done without out telling us first.
Right?
We planned an episode and everything, got all the notes lined out, and then literally as we're going to go record it, oh, it's no longer relevant. So thanks, buddy.
Yeah, we decided that rather than put out an episode that would essentially sound like it was fanning flames that weren't there, we wanted to backtrack and just not put it out. And instead, we decided to focus on some stuff that we needed to do in the background. And at the same time, we are putting in some work on a very special episode that we're working on. And we've teased a little bit about that episode, and we're still going to tease a little more. When it comes out, you guys are hopefully going to love it. So we're putting some time and effort into that one. And when it hits, I really hope that it hits. So
in terms of production quality, we have that.
Yes.
That is goal.
We are putting some time and some actual money into this one. So, I am not one of the creators on the internet who will sit here and say, oh, like and subscribe on every video and every piece of content we produce, because y'all are here, y'all exist, and you guys know how the internet works. We're not going to sit here and beg for your interactions and support. If that's what you want to do, great. We'll love it. We'll appreciate it. And we need it, but we're not going to beg for it. That will probably be the one that we ask. If you're going to suggest this podcast to a friend, that's the episode. If you haven't yet, that will be the one to do it with.
Absolutely.
So, getting into tonight's episode, Gibbs, buddy.
All right. Hello.
What is a secret society? Don't tell them.
It's a society. God damn it!
You can't tell them.
I was gonna make the joke.
Okay.
And now you don't. That's fine. But this was actually spurred on by a discussion we've had quite a few times, where it's the joke with the titles, the not so secret societies, are basically it's these secret societies in air quotes, or fraternities, or whatever else you want to call it, that are very often used. You either see it in movies and media, anything like that, in music even, that are referenced. But it's kind of weird that we look at secret societies, but they're all honestly kind of very different, the ones that are kind of popular, and they're not always related. And some of them literally are just fraternities. Some of them are literally just full of a bunch of weird people. Sometimes they do weird stuff. And then there's some of it where it's like, good luck, you can guess whatever it is.
Like Scientology. It's kind of
interesting. God, that one's one. I love the South Park episode on that one because it is so fucking good.
It's good.
And I honestly, I would love to do a separate episode at some point just on that one, just to spend the entire hour and a half shitting on it. That's gonna be me yelling into a microphone is all it's gonna be, because it's ridiculous. Every single part of it is the most absurd thing in the world. There's no amount of drugs or alcohol you can give me to take me into that. No, I'm sorry. No fucking way. No. But anyways, sorry. So we kind of wanted to discuss, some of the different secret societies that are out there. We've done some preliminary research, as well as kind of discuss more their implications on society today. Kind of, are they involved? Are they not? What do they do? What don't they do? Just to kind of clear the air, and also maybe point people in the right direction. I see a lot of people that use these terms and these phrases for these societies, but not actually know what it means. So it's kind of a interesting thing to talk about.
Right. So you want to take the first one, or you want me to take the first one?
Absolutely. Sure. No, I can take that one.
All right.
So probably the most relevant one you will see, and I will preface this with, this is more of a fraternity / secret society. I'll explain that a little bit later, but are the Freemasons. Now, the Freemasons, I can give the description that you're going to get online, and then I actually know a couple of Freemasons, so I can give more of the description of what they explain to other people. But basically, they're one of the most widely recognized fraternal organizations. They started back in the 16th to 17th century. They weren't really necessarily secret in terms of their existence, but it was more about their membership, their practices, and kind of what they did necessarily. I don't know why you're squinting over there. I can see. I thought you were going to say something. No, don't worry. Okay. But some things have been kept kind of under wraps in terms of objectives or goals, or kind of where they wanted to go with it. Now, one of the things with the Freemasons, at least, is they do keep it under wraps in terms of exactly what the goals are, what the different levels are, what the kind of internal structure is. But you can see them, at least historically. It was with a lot of people, particularly with the founding of America, particularly with a lot of our founding fathers who are members of the Freemasonry. It was something to where there's a lot of notable people, even throughout American history, up until, I wanted to say last time I looked in this was about like the 1960s, 70s, whereas when you were seeing a lot of presidents and a lot of representatives, senators, people in our political parties and establishment that were members of that society. But from people that I know that are Freemasons, and just like full disclosure, I've been to a couple of Freemason lodges. I've been to a few events. I know some people that are. I am not a member. But basically, from what I've been told from people nowadays, it should, mind you, that's from the two lodges that I've been to that I know. It's just a guys club that teaches guys how to be better guys. That's really what it is nowadays.
We need more of that in the world.
And I'm not against that. I'm really not. Like, literally, the one that I went to, it was a whiskey and cigar event where, like, they brought in high-end whiskeys, high-end cigars, and they had a couple of professionals that, like, sold them and knew a lot, and were like, hey, what are you into? What can I find that you would like? And they weren't trying to sell you. They just, like, had them on tap. They were like, come try it. Come try this, try that, see what you like, what you don't like. Mm-hmm. And we can reference to where you want to buy it. And they put zero sales pressure. I thought that was kind of cool. But that's from the modern historical context. Now, from back in the day, there was this kind of trend, though, and you'll see this with you'll see it even with the other ones we talk about, where there are a lot of cases of secret organizations, fraternities, societies, where the power kind of stays within them. And everything kind of revolves around being one of those members.
Mm-hmm.
For example, there are some conspiracy theories with the Freemasons. And I wanted to bring up this list. Yes. And I wanted to bring up this list because some of them I found kind of ridiculous. Some of them was kind of funny. This goes back to like the 18th and 19th century. There was a conspiracy that the British Judiciary Party, basically the judiciary system, was infiltrated with a bunch of Freemasons who gave other Masons kind of benefits of the doubt when it comes to the court system, and not, basically find them guilty of breaking certain laws, doing certain things. They give them a free pass. And that seems like something where, is it possible? Sure. But do we already do that with people in the judicial system all the time? Yeah. If you're a politician, you get caught. Perfect example. Or if you're a politician, you get caught drunk driving and somehow you never lose your license, even though they pulled you over 9 times out of 10. Like, it happens all the time, unfortunately.
That's called diplomatic immunity.
You're not wrong. It's one of those things where a lot of people that tend to be part of social groups like that, or like fraternities, end up being people that are well connected. So it's not necessarily because they're a Freemason that they're like part of some globalist conspiracy. It's just more like they know people. Because one of the things I've learned, at least with the Freemason groups, is that they're just big on social events, and they're big on like raising money for different causes and hospitals and different things or whatever.
Right.
So you just kind of meet people.
I have one to add to the list, and it sort of ties in because I see in the notes you're ready to talk to the religious side. This one ties into that one a little bit. There's this conspiracy that the Statue of Liberty, having been built by a Freemason, is not an actual French model, that it's actually a statue of Lucifer. So
that's not even close.
Well,
that's not even close.
Go down that rabbit hole.
What do you mean a statue of Lucifer?
Yes. It's
no.
It is a foxhole, but there is actually a statue.
It's like a pretty shallow hole.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's gained some traction lately.
I
dislike it. The Statue of Liberty is one of our most sacred and treasured relics in this country.
Yeah.
But they're saying that it was not a French model, that it's actually an ancient or older statue of Lucifer that it was modeled after.
That would go against all the historical stuff that I had read. But, I mean, I guess there's probably a 1% chance that that's possible, but I would highly, highly doubt that.
Yeah.
But
it's just one that I recently saw, and it tied in with this episode. So that's all.
That's so funny to me.
Yeah.
Because then I don't know how many shrooms you have to take or what kind of drugs you have to take to look at that and go, that's Lucifer. Unless you really hate justice, or unless you really hate like a quality under the law.
Well, no, so
what's their like aim behind that?
The resemblance behind an actual statue of Lucifer that exists or existed, and like the face is almost identical, the pose is the same, and that they're saying that underneath the robes you can't tell if it's a man or a woman, and something about the points and some other stuff. It's a foxhole. It's not even a rabbit hole. It's a foxhole. But like I said, it ties in, and
I wonder if it's because it is. I wonder if they just use the same kind of casting, just a different size, or if the idea is if it was already a statue that was in metal. Because France wasn't exactly. I mean, they weren't poor at that time, but
oh no, far from it.
But at the same point, it's like doing statues that large is rather difficult. So I wonder if they just used a similar casting for it and made some alterations. Yeah, it's metal,
Yeah, copper. Interesting metal.
It's malleable, so I mean, I don't know. I have to look into it more.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I can try to find the stuff for that one that I saw, and I'll link it in the Discord if I can.
Yeah, I'd like to read up on that. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, no, that's good. I like that. That's kind of cool. No, I appreciate that. Some people also believe that Freemasonry is a Jewish front for world domination, or is at least controlled by the Jews. I don't know how people think that, but that is a conspiracy theory that did come up on the list. Anyways, some people also believe that Freemasonry is tied to or behind communism, which I believe if you think that, you have absolutely zero understanding of history, but that's beside the point. And I think
that is a smooth brain way of thought.
That no ridges or bumps, no valleys or lumps.
Not a wrinkle to be had.
No. No. There's also another theory going around, which this one I found kind of funny, that Freemasons are behind income taxes in the U.S. One convicted tax protester was talking about it with law enforcement officials who surrounded this property in a standoff and refused to surrender and all this other bullshit. It was really weird. But my thought would be like, don't get me wrong. Like anybody that watched our economics episode understands where we're at with income taxes. With that being said, I don't think the Freemasons, their big goal was, you know what? Right now it's like 1739, and we're going to create a group, and then eventually in like 1919 or 1920, in the start of the 20th century, we're gonna start income taxes. and we're
Right.
going to see not a dime of that. No, that doesn't make sense. That's just it's
Our great grandkids are going to live rich.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
No.
I do like the thought that humanoid reptiles are behind the Freemasons and the Illuminati. That's hilarious. And honestly, if you know where my background is from, that is one of the better shows or episodes from that show. Inside Job on Netflix.
Oh. Still have to watch it.
It's a great show. I hate that it got canceled after 2 seasons, but fucking hell, it was great.
Why, it just run out of funding?
No, COVID.
Why did they take it back up?
I'm not sure. It was originally renewed, and then all of a sudden it got canned.
Oh.
So, one of those
That
deals.
sucks.
Highly recommend, though.
But I did also see, this is more on the religious side, but I just thought it was kind of funny. There were some conspiracy theories that Freemasons worship Baal, Baphomet, or Rahu. I forgot which one that one is.
I think it's a Indian or something like that.
I think so. But Baal I thought was funny because that's basically almost like analogous to what's like the god of murder or something like that and violence.
Yeah,
And then
something like
Baphomet, which that one's an interesting one that popped out of nowhere because that's actually from
Wicca, isn't it?
yes, but also I thought that had to do with the Bohemian Grove as well.
Possibly. The Baphomet gets used in a lot of different things. So
I don't know. It just it was I had a good laugh because as far as the Freemasons that I've spoken to that I know, it's really more. It's way less religious than you'd think. It's just mostly they're just like you have to believe in a god that's like of Christian-ish value, and they're very loose with that. That's
I'm
really
out.
about it. So that's when I was offered, I was like, yeah, but I'm not going to lie to be in here. They're like, all right, we respect that. So that's how that conversation went.
Yeah.
But really, besides that, there wasn't really anything else crazy besides just the usual, basically in movies or things, blaming, the Freemasons for something or saying this political group is part of the Freemasons. It's just a very catch-all term for any sort of like political group.
Yeah. So I'll take the next two because they kind of tie into each other, if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, I'll burn through the first one.
You know more about these two.
Yeah. So the Illuminati, one of my favorite ones, because they're everywhere and nowhere.
I was just gonna have the word naughty in it.
Yeah. Yes. The Illuminati, Naughty. Oh, yes. They were founded originally in Bavaria back in 1776, which was a great year for founding things. Originally founded as an Enlightenment era group that aimed to oppose religious influence and state power. They advocated for reason and self-governance. Supposedly, it was a short-lived organization, and it was suppressed by the government in the late 1780s. As far as we know, that's supposedly when it ended. It, in fact, did not end in the 1780s. It is still around today, in 2025.
Naughty.
Naughty, indeed. The original goals included promoting liberal ideas, challenging superstition, and influencing political power structures. Does any of that sound familiar? Especially that last one.
Well, I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Right? Due to their radical aims and swift suppression, they became a focal point for conspiracy theories, often depicted as a shadowy group secretly controlling world events to this day. Wow. Look at those guys.
They're really angular, if anything.
Right?
Triangle.
Like
what
Dorito heads.
I know. They're probably not tasty, though.
Right?
Most of those balls haven't been washed in a decade. They probably smell like ass.
Oh, I bet.
That's the problem.
They were considered secret, mostly because their existence and membership was designed to protect members from political and religious persecution, which was also the Knights Templar, one of their deals. They were founded as a medieval Catholic military order back in the 12th century to protect pilgrims in the Holy Land, but they ended up becoming very powerful and wealthy. They developed an early form of banking, but they were disbanded in the 14th century thanks to pressure from the King of France and the Pope of the time. Now, they had originally been founded in the early 12th century, around 1118 or 1119, so they had a pretty good run. And in that time, they were able to rack up a lot of money and a lot of gold, silver, jewels, precious works of art, whatnot. Lots of treasures
as well.
Oh, yeah. Lots of treasures have been scattered around the world that have been tied to them as well. And I'll touch on those a little bit later, I hope. The military prowess and the influence, financial influence of the Knights Templar was pretty significant. Their sudden and brutal suppression led to rumors and legend about hidden treasures, secret knowledge, and their continued existence in various forms. Their military and financial activities were overt, their initiation rites and internal dealings were private, and the circumstances of their dissolution fueled most of the ideas of hidden secrets. So in addition to, rather, the treasure stuff, they were tied to the Illuminati just because they were thought to control world events, and they had a lot of ties to government orders as well. It was thought that they were tied to the establishment of the New World Order. The Illuminati manipulates global finance and politics and social policies to achieve their objectives. That theory overlaps with other conspiracy narratives about global elites seeking to control the world. Again, doesn't that sound kind of familiar? We see a little bit of that today, don't we?
I think more than a little bit.
Yeah.
It's always the problem with any of these groups. It's usually the people that are in wealth or in power that are well connected.
Yes.
That end up being in these groups, and therefore they get blamed, even though whether rightfully so or not, but they're influencing.
Well,
many events.
And I touched on this a little bit in our downfall of the entertainment industry episode. The amount of people that get tied to the Illuminati because of the public symbols that they use in their interviews, their cover art, published images and whatnot, all of the things that are supposedly linked to the Illuminati, having to do with triangles and the eyes and everything else. It's just so much, and it's not even hidden anymore. And I mean, there are tons of theories about, oh, if you're trying to contact the Illuminati, then you have to do these. And if you're responding to them, then it's suggested you have to do X, Y, and Z out in public. And if you look at some of these celebrities that have done things, wardrobe, some of the more masculine men, all of a sudden wearing dresses and pearls and shit in public. That's supposedly one of the responses of them saying, yes, I will bow and take the knee and do what you ask. What's her name? The singer from the Witch movie. Coffee Girl. Grande. Ariana Grande.
I'm sorry.
You get the grande at Starbucks. That's how I remember her. I'm sorry.
Coffee Girl.
A lot of people have been worried about her and her health recently because she looks like an anorexic twig. She used to look at least healthy. And supposedly there was some kind of a tie-in with the Illuminati. I can't speak. I don't know her.
You know what's a weird thing that I overheard in the last day?
What's that?
Was that a lot of people that knew Diddy, because he supposedly was a part of it,
yes,
ended up getting pneumonia. And what people are arguing is that it's like poison-induced pneumonia through food.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who Sean King or it was some rapper that was on like a news organization the other day talking about that, being like, beware people dying from pneumonia all of a sudden because they're connected with him. Like, oh, I never would have thought of that.
Yeah,
Being poisoned.
man. The Diddy list, the Diddy videos, the freak out videos, or
Epstein stuff as well.
it's all tied, and it's just getting out of control. We will never see the Epstein list because there's too many people in power that will fall if we do. The Diddy list, I think it's the same deal. He's naming names, but I think it's names that we all already knew, and no one's going to jail for it.
Who's gonna have the courage?
I don't know.
Someone has
But
to.
I think a lot of it also ties in with Pizzagate.
Valid.
So I think it's all one big Illuminati shaped triangle. See what I did there?
Yeah.
And it's just, it all ties in with itself. But yeah, that's pretty much the Illuminati and the Knights Templar. There's supposedly evidence of symbols and everything in things, even our currency. The construction of the U.S. Capitol, Washington, D.C., not just the building, but D.C. itself, was planned out by the Masons. The Templars had some influence on that. So, Nick Cage, what movie was that?
Oh, you're talking about National Treasure, right?
National Treasure, thank you.
Yeah.
That had a lot of good history in it. So, but you can take the next one.
Absolutely. 1 second. For this one, huh? This one's actually not something I know a ton about until we did this research.
I only know that the Bushes were in it.
The amount of jokes I can make, never mind. But so would you say the fraternity of, or
I think it's the order of.
Oh, you're right. It is the order. The Order of the Skull and Bones. That's an undergraduate senior secret society at Yale University. Skull and Bones was founded in 1832. It's known for its exclusive membership, drawing from the university's elite. There have been a long list of politicians that were members of this. Now we're entering more of the modern fraternities where a lot of the members for Skull and Bones, you'll see photos and videos of things like for initiation stuff, weird things, like we'll get into some of the other ones as well. I have seen videos such as like, people having to do weird things when they're naked or wearing weird costumes or outfits or having to attend certain parties. This is kind of getting to that more fraternity initiation where the whole idea is I got to have dirt on you, you got to have dirt on me. That way we all kind of hold each other accountable / I can't hurt you, you can't hurt me kind of thing.
It's a lot like Bohemian Grove.
Well, that's the one where
we'll get to that one.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
That's the Alex Jones special.
Good on him for getting in there.
I know, right? Anyways, membership is by invitation only, and the activities and rituals within the meeting hall are known as the Tomb, which that's great. They're kept secret. The society has a long list of powerful alumni in politics, business, and intelligence, leading to speculation about its influence and networking capabilities. Why is it considered a secret? Well, membership is private until it is publicly revealed upon graduation, and their internal workings and rituals are closely guarded secrets. That was one where it was kind of hard for me to find for them their, I guess, goals or ideas. It's really, that one's way less of an organized group and more of just we're all going to
secret club.
Other. Yeah, it's a boys club, effectively.
Yeah.
It's hey, you're going to go be a lawyer, I'm going to be a politician, you're going to be a business owner, we're all going to help each other. Cool. But that's probably the way more common type of fraternity you will see.
That seems to me like it's more of a real good old boys club than anything else. So, yeah. The Rosicrucians. I did not know, excuse me, much of anything about these guys until back in the day, the Georgia Guidestones.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I had heard about these this group, because they were supposedly behind the construction of the Georgia Guidestones, which sadly were destroyed not that long ago.
Were they?
Yes, they were demolished.
Why?
Somebody paid to have them destroyed.
That's a red fucking flag right there.
Right?
I'm sorry. Why? Okay, now I have a different rabbit hole to look down after this podcast. What?
Yes. While I'm reading this, if you want to look up the inscriptions that used to be on the stones. But Rosicrucianism refers to a philosophical and spiritual movement that emerged in the early 17th century with the publication of manifestos claiming the existence of a secret brotherhood possessing esoteric wisdom. Numerous groups have since claimed lineage to the original Rosicrucians. It is said to originally emerged in Europe in the early 17th century. The perceived activities included alchemy, mysticism, and esoteric knowledge. The original manifestos were deliberately mysterious, inviting speculation and interpretation, which contributed to their image as a secret society. And they were deemed a secret society because the original brotherhood was presented as hidden, and much of their purported knowledge was considered esoteric and not for public dissemination. So, Gibbs, what did you find?
Interesting. So it was like a kind of like a to-do list or how to do for taking care of humanity in the world and stuff like that. But some of the guides are kind of interesting.
Like the population cap?
Yeah, like at 500 million, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Fitness and health in variety of people. Unite humanity under a language, rule with passion, faith, tradition. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. To cancer on the earth, leave room for nature. Like, none of this stuff seems bad.
Except for that population cap.
Well, yeah, that's a fucking problem. But, like...
Now, if they were talking about that as, like, for the U.S.,
well,
okay.
That makes sense to me.
500 million as a population cap for the U.S., I could see.
That'd be fucking...
Because we're not even there yet. And we've got a ton of open room in the U.S.
I know,
but if they mean for the world,
land,
that's an issue. And all of a sudden, people like Bill Gates, they get a stiffy. Because they already want to eradicate most of the population.
you see how that guy looks? I doubt he can get a stiffy.
Trust me, with all the pharmaceuticals he's in bed with, I'm sure he can.
Got a pill for that.
He's probably got a mainline injection tubule for all the Viagra. He takes Viagra via EpiPen.
Oh, it's 5:30. It's stiffy time.
Stiffy pen.
You got an EpiPen. I got a stiffy pen. I have to tell you. Yeah, money talks, man. Money makes shit happen. Jesus. Good God. I don't know. I just think it's funny that Bill Gates, have you seen the way he looks and the way his body's doing? Like, he's this guy that's trying to go all GMO, don't eat meat, don't eat all this stuff.
Hey, he can eat all the bugs he wants. I have said it before. I will say it again. I will eat a human before I eat bugs. I'm sorry.
I just don't think he's a good poster child for what he's trying to do.
No.
He has not taken care of himself. Like,
nope, not happening.
I'm not saying it like in a mean way, but like, come on. If you're trying to promote this stuff, at least try to sell me on it.
Right.
And you're not, buddy.
I mean, listen, I have posted the human cutlet sheet in the Discord like twice now.
All right, that's a little concerning. I think I posted it twice.
I keep it on my phone just in case I'm out and about during an emergency. Like if the apocalypse happens while I'm out, I know how to fillet some meat, okay?
If I come visit you sometime and it's filet a la Mark, I'm going to be pissed.
No, because Mark's my neighbor. He's a good dude.
Oh, I'm picking names out of a hat. I don't know. Jesus.
Oh. All right, buddy.
All right. Then we're on to the most infamous group in American history. Well, I wouldn't say one of the most infamous politically.
One of them.
We talk about the Bohemian Club. Now, the reason why this is on this list and it gets a little bit more of its own time is the Bohemian Club. This part here is my speculation. I think the Bohemian Club was the club that Jeffrey Epstein learned how to do what he did to get other people to bend to his will. Hear me out on this one. I have a bit of a theory with this one.
Well, let me pause you on that.
Yes.
I don't think it's where he learned. I think it's where he just made a lot of connections. Because I have some dirty information, and I want to see if you know it.
Okay. We'll roll with that in a second. But basically, it was an exclusive men's club that was based in San Francisco, founded in 1872. It really became popular, though, back in the 40s, 50s, even to the 60s, where they basically got their own compound out in California. It was out in the middle of the woods, out in the middle of nowhere, just away from everything. And they were doing some really weird rituals and things, like wearing almost like KKK looking kind of like outfits in the white clothes and doing sacrifices and worshiping Molech, which is like this big owl looking god kind of thing, and staying there for days, if not weeks at a time. And then they'd see like presidents there and then leaders of the military and if you go look on like the Bohemian Grove list of people that were confirmed that were members that went, it is kind of crazy, the people that were part of that list. And mind you, that is a club to where it was a $25,000 initiation fee after you're invited and $25,000 in membership fees every year. That is at a time, mind you, in the 50s, 25 grand buys you like houses in plural.
Mm-hmm.
Like multiple, you could buy entire businesses with $25,000. So that you're talking the ultra of the ultra, the top 1% of 1%.
Like the 0.1%.
Exactly. Yeah, I should have just said it that way because I'm a fucking idiot. But I guess the point I'm trying to emphasize is you had all these rich and wealthy people gathering out in the woods and doing some stuff that, from the reports that I have seen, are just off the wall. Everything from prostitutes and strippers, which is the usual thing, which nothing surprises you. That, you know, as it was talking about, like sacrificing animals, there were rumors of sacrificing people, which that we have never been able to confirm, but it would not surprise me. This became really popular though because of Alex Jones. Alex Jones was able to get into the Bohemian Club and take video evidence. This is back, late 90s, early 2000s, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I'll look it up while you're talking.
If you remember, unfortunately, I don't remember exactly when it was, but he was the first person that was able to get some information out. Well, ever since he did that, they moved sites. They no longer do stuff there. No one really knows where they went. But what's crazy is they had vehicles and fleets of stuff and documentation and cameras and weapons, and they had armed guards and everything. It was kind of crazy. But anyways,
July of 2000, he broke in.
So I was, yeah, that's what I thought. So there were, I don't know if you want to bring in your thing about them before I go into some of their theories and conspiracy theories on them.
Okay, so
Curious.
This is, I have no way to prove it, so it is a 100% abject conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Supposedly, Bush Sr. was observed getting a blowy from an underage boy at Bohemian Club. Supposedly.
Wouldn't surprise me, but supposedly.
Right. But it was observed by other people, such as Kissinger.
Oh.
And this
He's
was
not
well
exactly
before.
known to be the most trustworthy either.
Right. But Kissinger is just one of the people that was supposedly confirmed to have been there when this happened.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
Yep, would not. But then again, that's kind of
one of the things. Women are not allowed in the Bohemian Club. The only women that can be there are like servers, entertainers, entertainment.
Yes, women can't be members.
That's it.
Is the point? They are They are part of the facility.
Yes,
they are not.
So, but yeah, go ahead with what you were doing.
No, it's all good. Long story short, it's a very weird place, and we don't even know where it is now. Once that got exposed, they packed up shop, and I even tried looking it up. You can't find much anymore. That's what sucks. I miss the wild days on the internet where I could find this stuff, but those days are long gone unless I want to go pirating on the high seas of the internet, and I don't feel like doing that right now. So,
right. Get a good VPN. NordVPN sponsor us.
that is a sponsorship I would be okay with.
They sponsor everybody.
I'd be okay with it. But anyways, so there were a lot of theories with the Bohemian Club that are very similar, same kind of thing. Things like they were part of the New World Order, that they did satanic rituals, which the satanic ritual stuff, I actually do believe that's very, very possible. Not for nothing, if you're worshiping a giant owl called Molech and sacrificing things and doing stuff, satanic rituals, very much in the realm of possibility there.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember there were some theories on things like the reason why I bring up the Epstein thing was because they would invite world leaders, powerful people there, and because they had cameras and stuff, having them do things with people that might be not of consent or people that they shouldn't
or consenting age.
Yes, exactly. I'm just trying to dance around it because I don't want to get demonetized or anything. But
well, we're not making any money yet, so we're good.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. But that way they had proof of them doing this, therefore they had them under their control, and they could be manipulated. And that is where Epstein, who had been known to hang out with people that were members at the Bohemian Club, I feel like he is the direct correlation of, hey, that's how they manipulate people there. Why don't I just do it for my own means? And that's how he did it. So,
yep.
So if you want to blame Epstein, you can thank the Bohemian Club. Thank them.
Oh, Epstein had a lot going that, like I said, we'll never know the full extent. Once his compound got raided, everything got sealed away in a box and locked away from the public forever.
Yeah, because our politicians are spineless.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Or involved.
Again, I would agree with you. The only reason why they're scared is because they're implicated. So.
Yep.
But we'll see in due time. Who knows? Who knows? Trump might be cooking with this presidency. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, hey, he's already fucked one of our episodes up.
I know. Well, he's moving quicker than I thought on some stuff. So I fully expected that the India-Pakistan thing to blow up.
I thought it was going to touch off. I'll be honest.
Yeah, we were totally, but good for him for calling peace and a ceasefire, and bravo.
No nuclear war. Yay.
Like, honestly, I really don't have time for nuclear war right now. Like, I got shit to do.
Right?
I still got plumbing problems on
I'm
the shit in
busy.
this house. I got to go to work tomorrow. I mean, I don't have time for nuclear war. I'm sorry. Can we schedule it for 2020, 2033 or something like that? Maybe then 2035.
Right.
But anyways. So, at least in summary, there are many types of different clubs, organizations. Some might be tied to knowledge or power. Some might be tied to influence or leverage. But it's one of those things where it's easy for people to blame their problems or issues on a particular group rather than addressing the real issue. And this is kind of what I want to touch upon here. I do feel like they're a scapegoat for a lot of things, where instead of blaming and putting the rightful blame on your local politician or government official, they'll blame, oh, well, these people are all part of this group and they're doing this. Honestly, most of these groups, like, sure, there's some of them that do some screwed up stuff, but a lot of them have nothing to do with stuff that you'll see on a daily basis.
Most of them are just social clubs where they have whiskey and cigars and pay for group prostitutes, probably. I don't know.
Well, not any club I'd want to be involved with, put it that way.
No, it's messy.
Not my thing.
It's like Bonnie Blue, but, with more than one hooker bot.
God.
I want to interview the guy that had to clean up that scene.
I think you should have got therapy as well. Like that's an expensive cleanup crew. Like, sure, the cleanup is $500, but the therapy is like $10,000. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. The thing that I would want to understand is how did that room smell at the end? Because like just have you ever had a room just to smell of disgrace and sadness? It's just like if depression was tangible, that is what that room smelled like. And for everybody else at home that has no idea what we're talking about, just search up Bonnie Blue and it's Bonnie Blue and then the word 1000.
Not at work. Do not do that at work. Holy shit. I'll just preface that now.
Hey. Well, they'll find out. Oh my god. It's crazy that some of them got into a war of who could have the highest number.
Right.
It's reverse golf over here. I don't get it. Like, just people are wild. I don't know.
Yeah. Good times.
Anyways. So I would say, at least is my opinion, most of the problems in the world have to do with a few selfish, powerful people, not with a cabal of people trying to end the world or dominate it. It's usually you got a few thousand, or even 10,000, very, very wealthy, powerful people. They're all pulling in their own direction. And sometimes a lot of them happen to align. But I bet there are some small groups that work together, but there's no like Illuminati running the world. Put it that way.
Well, we want to believe that there's not.
There's no way.
We
they
want to believe that there's
suck
not,
at
because if there is, then, well, what we do doesn't matter.
Well, to be fair, that's a matter of perspective. Like what you do either does or doesn't matter depending on.
I know.
How you want to view
Which,
it.
I mean, if you want to affect real change in your life or your immediate bubble, vote in local elections. Pay attention to what's going on around you and act accordingly.
Or even run in your local elections.
If it comes down to it, run. Absolutely.
Be the difference you want to see in the world. That will be me at some point. So I'm not saying this to be a hypocrite.
Right.
I'm well aware.
I hope this doesn't come back to bite you in the ass when you run.
But I don't see anything very controversial though.
I do.
Well, yeah, that's you.
But you were his friend.
So does that mean? You know what? I hate that argument that you associate yourself with someone that's a little odd. I'd be like, everybody I know has someone in their life that's a little odd. You know what? You had to add some flavor to your life. You gotta have some fun. And also,
I'm full of flavor. I should just walk around in a rubber suit.
No,
that way it really seals in the flavor.
No, fuck you. No, I know what that's from.
It really seals in the flavor.
I know what it's from. That's, by the way,
I love that.
One of the best skits ever.
Fucking loved that.
She went to town on me after his crime fighting in the suit all day long. What was it? College Humor? They do that skit?
Yeah, it was College Humor.
Man, they had some good ones.
Really seals in the flavor.
The amount of times I quote that, and I don't say it out loud because no one else is gonna get that.
Oh God. Oh shit.
Since for work, I work with automotive stuff like that. Anytime I get into someone's car and it smells like dank weed or something like that, I close the door. That's what I meant to think. Just every single time.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man. But, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
No, just learn to be better people. Learn to be better humans. Be better to each other. Learn to keep an eye on your surroundings and watch out for other people that you have to watch out for.
Yeah, and say no to weird clubs.
Or say yes to weird clubs and really live.
It really depends on what kind of club you want to do.
You never know. You could end up in the wrong club and then you pass out and wake up with a banana in your ass.
Yeah, or worse, you don't pass out. You still end up with a banana in your ass. Well, I'd assume it'd have to be frozen, because if it's not, then that's just...
just not peeled.
It's still a green one, because then if it was ripe, that's just, I don't know what to tell you.
Just a firm yellow one.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry, this got way too detailed about a banana. This really
if it's firm, it'll still go in, I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I can clutch pretty hard over here. I think you'd have a tough fucking time. I'll tell you. Can I turn a banana into a diamond? I don't know. Fucking try, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Just gotta give it that old hawk to
Oh. That was one of the weirdest trends.
Oh, yeah.
You know what, though? Like, I do admit, I'm glad she raised a bunch of money for, like, animal hospitals, stuff like that. Like, cool. But also, like, she didn't really do anything with it. So, like, kind of a double.
Nah, she wasted it.
Yeah, she like flash in the pan.
Typical Gen Z.
Well, you know, don't know how to brand. They got to make a brand image, and you know.
Well, she tried with Hawk Tua coin or whatever it was, but then she rugged that, and now she's won it or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I thought she was gonna be either going to jail because she was purposely manipulating it.
Right.
But
I think on that, I don't think she did that on purpose. I really think that she was just having a dumb blonde moment.
What?
And she was just like, oh, look, that's worth a lot of money. I'll cash out now. And didn't realize that, like, oh, that's actually illegal. I want to believe that for just like a little tiny percent.
You want to know what it is? I'll tell you right now. There were a bunch of smart finance guys that knew they could use her to make a shit ton of money because she's dumb. So they're like, all right, we're just going to do this behind her back, do it, and she'll take the fall for it, and we keep the money. I bet you.
There's also that.
I bet you.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be the first time that's happened. It probably won't be the last.
No. Oh, no. That brings up a topic, since we're still in the episode and not in the after show. Mm-hmm. Crypto.
Yes.
We have on the schedule to do a whole episode about crypto.
Mm. I'm
curious if anyone that's made it this far would be interested to hear an episode about crypto.
Yeah, we'd like some feedback on that because that's something we've been kind of baking in the background.
Had that bun in the oven for a little while.
You're not wrong. It's just crypto hasn't really been as relevant lately. Like there's been no like crazy news, at least on my end. So, but if people are interested, we'd love to talk about that because I know you've been into crypto for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, since about 2016.
Yeah, missed that early bust for Bitcoin, huh? Ugh.
Man, I saw the rise. I was still scared about it. I saw the rocket ship of Bitcoin, Dogecoin.
Oh yeah, we made money on that.
I made a little bit on all that stuff. Dogecoin and Ripple gave me the money to get into my house. Covered all of my home entrance fees.
The American dream. Using
dog money, invisible dog money.
It's literally just the ultimate faith-based system. What is it worth?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Why? Because we think it is. It's such an orc way of thinking. It's hilarious. It's worth something. Yes. Why?
Space orcs.
Yes. That's all it is.
Yes. You know, I'm willing to do an episode on like Warhammer and like why it's so big and like cinchingly attractive to nerds. I know. I see your eyebrows dancing.
Welcome to the club. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My chromosomes
or
are
like
tingling with excitement.
Just like nerd stuff in general. Why it's got such an allure for people who are drawn to it.
You know what? Actually, maybe we could do an episode on just the what is it? The like why are nerds or something like that? Why are people into that kind of stuff? Like what kind of
or why are those types of people drawn to those types of things?
Yeah.
Because when you think of a D&D nerd, a certain image comes into your head. It is basically that kid that played McLovin, and also in role models, the same kid. Yep. But that is the stereotype nerd. And
We firmly
just
fall
like,
into
why?
like the military nerd category, which is the
yeah.
we have the military-tism, which is the if you look at any of the guys that are in the military stuff, we all look the same.
I mean, I was in the military,
I
so
know.
I at least qualified.
You could prove you have an over an 83 IQ, whereas I'm the fucking moron.
Yay!
But you know what? That does bring up. I was thinking about this when I was talking with my girlfriend the other day. There are like weirdly differences in appearance with different groups of the nerd sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the guys that are into Warhammer, like half of those guys go to the gym and are fucking jacked. They're like, fuck
The other
yeah,
half
fight,
don't know what a
let's go.
shower is.
Well, yeah, that's that's yeah. I'll never understand that dichotomy.
No.
And then there's matches.
And that's the other thing. Why don't nerds know how to bathe? They're so smart.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna add that to an episode because I have a lot to say about that actually.
Okay.
I think a lot of those topics
We have a nerd episode.
that has my mind going.
Booyah!
As a nerd that's both into the two most nerdly / non socially acceptable, I guess, between Warhammer and Star Trek. Those both get picked on. So.
And yet Henry Cavill's involved in, I think, both.
Exactly. To be fair, he was also Superman. So
that's what I was going to say. He may not be involved in Star Trek, but he is at least Superman. So
and he was The Witcher, which
yes, badass.
It's so good.
Yes. So, but yeah, I think we can wrap things up on that. It was a short episode tonight, but we didn't want to scare people off after taking the break. But we do thank you for hanging out with us, sticking with us through the time off. And we can't wait to see you guys in the future. As always, check out the socials. The shorts have been putting some work in. Thank you for that, Gibbs.
No problem. Glad to be of assistance.
You can check out the shorts on the TikTok and on YouTube. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just appreciate everybody interacting with our social media stuff. Make sure to join the Discord. As well, links will be in the description for everything. Please join us. That's the easiest way to get in contact with us directly and or be a part of the community.
Yes, as well as the Facebook group.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember to be active in there, but my God, my life is busy as hell right now. So after spring, things will calm down. But with that, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. So we love you guys. Thanks again for hanging out, and we will see y'all next time.